Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing great. And let's start with today's story titled Fiancé from a relationship of 9 years cheated and now tried to off herself by starvation after we broke off. Main story I, 28 male, am engaged to my fiancé, 29 female. We will call her Barit. We have been together for 9 years and only got engaged 2 months ago. Our relationship was solid as we both were putting conscious effort in making both parties happy. The issue came up when one of my close friends went on a blind group date. Men and women meet up to find a relationship. He saw Barrett in the group date and recognized her, snapped a photo, and sent it to me. I knew he was going to hook up that night. By the time Barrett came back to my house, we lived together, I already packed all of her belonging with our housekeeper and stuffed the door keyhole to prevent her from using the key, left her stuff in front of the door, and sent her a message with the photo. We are done. Don't call me. Don't ever come here again. And blocked her and turned off my phone. I also asked the housekeeper to not let her in. I couldn't sleep and felt my heart sinking and crushing all night. In the morning, I opened my phone to call in sick from my job and found my phone bombarded by her friends and her parents. I ignored and blocked everyone except my own side of the family. 2 days later, in the afternoon, her parents and my parents came to the house. Since my parents were there, I couldn't just ask them to leave. So I let them in. My parents stayed silent. Barrett's father screamed at me about trust and how rash I made my decision without even talking to his daughter, and about how he thought I would be more mature than this. Her mother was more understanding about how Barrett put herself in this position by making a decision that brings nothing but suspicion. They told me that she has barely eaten in the last 2 days and that I owe her to at least hear her out. I didn't want to see her because I still loved her so much, and I will most likely be swayed by whatever she says. I refused to go to her and told them that if she comes here now, I will talk to her. They called her, and she came with two of her friends. She explained that she went to this group date because her friend needed a wingman and she was just there to help her. She never told me because she simply thought she is going out with a friend. And her friend never told her it was a blind group date, showed me her phone and the messages which all add up. I called the friend that sent me the photo and asked him about what Barrett was doing there. He told me that she refused to have any alcohol and just drank tea, left with her friend, female, after the couples matched and didn't leave or exchange numbers with anyone there. I felt so dumb and guilty and started to apologize profusely to salvage the relationship. We are still trying to make it work. I am planning a vacation as an apology, and she has mostly forgiven me with few conditions. Was I the a-hole to jump to conclusions given the circumstantial evidence? She didn't leave when she found out it was a hookup party. She definitely did something. She is not telling you the whole story. And now to the update. Found out that my fiancé from a relationship of 9 years really did cheat on me, and I am livid. We have been together for 9 years. I have never felt more miserable and betrayed. We got engaged a little over 2 months ago. After the engagement, I felt that our relationship became deeper, but I was wrong. The engagement had the opposite effect. We got back from the apology vacation only for her friend to drop this bomb on me. The apology vacation that I paid for to apologize for suspecting her. I was delusional to not see what was in front of me. I only found out because one of her friends told me about it. Her friend felt guilty after seeing the vacation photos on social media. I confronted my fiancée, and her excuse was that she was drunk. We were each other's only sexual partner. She was wondering how sex would feel like with different people, and while drunk she made a mistake and had a one-night stand with the brother of her friend. She told me it was a mistake. She never meant for it to happen, and that we can still rebuild our relationship. I asked her if it felt good enough. Was it worth throwing away the 9 years we had together? My heart aches. I can clearly feel a cold, painful hole in my chest. Watching her cry only made my pain feel worse, but the disgust I feel when I look at her and the images of her with that other guy pop in my head is stronger. She swore off alcohol, promised to cut off her friend and her brother. Hearing this didn't make me feel better. Any love I have is slowly turning to hate. I asked her to take off the engagement ring, pack up, and leave my house. My family is disappointed in her and are supportive of my decision, as her values and the values of our family don't match. Her family is split. Her father thinks that a one-night stand while drunk isn't enough to throw 9 years down the drain, while her mother understands my decision but wishes if we can work this out. F this. I don't think that I will be able to date or trust a woman again. It wasn't a mistake. She admitted she wanted it with another guy. Now she can do whatever she wants with as many men as she likes as single lady. And what's wrong with her father, enabling his daughter's awful behavior? And now to the second update. Things were quiet for a while as I grieved on my own. 3 days ago, her parents came knocking on my door again. I ignored them until they left. However, they didn't give up and ambushed me in my office at the church that I work at. They brought to my attention that my ex has been starving herself and is now hospitalized. According to them, she has been trying to refuse treatment, and they want me to go meet her, as they put it. They don't want me to get back with her and just want me to meet her. I told them that I would think about it, but still haven't made up my mind. I no longer know what to think. My current thoughts could be summarized in, I'm starting to feel that she might actually regret cheating, and perhaps reconciliation is an option. On the other hand, if she was this attached to our relationship, why did she cheat in the first place? I still can't get the image of her sleeping with this guy during her one-night stand out of my mind. Until not long ago, I was desperate to make her feel better during her period, and it really pained me to see her in pain. And seeing her in pain and hospitalized might break my resolve regarding the breakup. The betrayal has affected so much that I am sure I will need therapy. I can feel myself doubting my own mother's words just because she is a woman. If I choose to try reconciliation only to be betrayed again, I don't know how messed up I will get. Additional details not mentioned in last post, that about how she ended up cheating. One of her friends kept pestering my ex about how she is missing out by going to marriage, having had sex with only me. She is the only partner I ever had too. This friend of hers invited her to her house. They drank with this guy that is the brother of one of their friends. My fiancée couldn't get this friend's words out of her mind and had a one-night stand with this guy while under the influence. If I decide to visit her and agree to reconcile, my initial conditions so far are prenuptial agreement, no more alcohol. She cuts this toxic friend out of our life. Counseling/therapy. I appreciate your feedback regarding this matter. Should I visit her or not? Should I give reconciliation a shot? Don't take her back. She's just trying to guilt trip you. If you give in now, she'll know she can manipulate you again later. And the final update? I would like to thank you very much for the insight and support. Reading the comments, I realized that I never even considered that she was trying to blackmail, guilt me back into the relationship. I only saw it as a gesture of remorse and a show of sincerity. This makes me feel so naive. After calming down and thinking it through rationally, I decided to not see her again. As for her parents, I wouldn't feel right to trespass them from the house of God. So I will just welcome them and affirm my decision going forward, if they decide to pester me at my office. Thank you very much for assisting me in finding the right direction. She actually did you a favor by showing her true colors now instead of after marriage or children. There are still plenty of loyal women out there. Take it as a blessing in disguise and move forward. And next, the second story titled, I, 30 male, have just divorced my 27 female cheating backstabbing wife. I am a 30 years old man who lives in a country in North Africa. I am a wealthy young man with a net worth of over $3.5 million who started from the bottom. My family is middle class. I got my wealth by owning several currency exchange offices, crypto field, exchanging too, and I own several bodybuilding gyms. I married my wife on June 20th, 24, after 4 years of relationship. She has a master's degree in commerce, but never worked a day in her life. She had the luxurious lifestyle with me that any woman would have dreamed of. Big house with a pool, her own car, stable salary, luxurious vacations, designer shopping, jewelry, etc. The woman we are talking about is an average-looking who I met when I just started to really climb the ladders. But we got along well, and we were best friends before the relationship. Everything was fine until we had a quarrel in April this year. She left 2 weeks to her family's house in another city, then she came back and we had sex. 3 days after, I started to feel some burning and tingling in my penis, and I did take the antibiotics thinking that it was just an infection that I got from some public toilet. But then, she got a red eye and I got the same thing too after her by 3 days, then I knew it was gonorrhea. But I didn't take the test because of course I took the antibiotics which affects the result completely. She denied that it was gonorrhea. She was defending that it was just a double infection, which is of course impossible to happen to two people at the same time if it was not an STD. She thought I closed this chapter, but I actually didn't. 3 weeks forward, I put a listening device under the passenger seat of her car, and I paid a guy who kept listening to all her conversations and all her calls in the car. Then only I started to grasp and know the person I am dealing with. She always talked bad behind my back to all her friends, her mom, and everyone she knows. She complains about everything all the time. She really likes to make me small in front of other people. She talked with other men in the car. She exchanged phone numbers with other men. Whenever she traveled to another city, she'd take off her marriage ring whenever she's out of the city. And in one call. Actually, she admitted that she had an affair that caused her gonorrhea, and after that gonorrhea affair, she was actually never afraid again. She kept pushing and testing the boundaries. She was actually good at faking, and I was too. I kept this for almost 5 months, never showed a sign, not even once, and I was acting really normal. Then I confronted her 2 weeks ago about the device. She collapsed and started to beg and cry. She even said she would off herself if I leave her. She said that she talked that way with her friends about me so she can look witchy, independent, and cool in front of them. But she didn't admit the cheating, of course. She gambled that maybe I didn't hear those calls. I acted like I was convinced and told her, let's start a new page. She had the worst 2 weeks of her life. She was really afraid, anxious, and scared if maybe I knew and I am just hiding it. Yesterday, I woke up, left her a message on WhatsApp explaining to her the procedure, and I left her divorce papers on the table. I promised her that no one will know the real story, and I will tell my family and friends that we were simply not compatible. I left the house and blocked every line of communication with her. She signed the paper this morning and gave it to my lawyer, and she got a sum of money on the other hand, a year's salary that I used to give her. Under the laws of my country, she has no rights, of course, to my assets and properties. I feel some kind of guilt that I was much more powerful than her in this whole story. She played checkers while I was playing 4D chess. I also feel guilty that she asked just one night before I left that I promise her I will never leave her. And I did. The whole thing made me feel like I was preparing a mob hit, more than managing a relationship. I feel relieved, but I also pity her stupidity and naivety. I hope I will overcome this guilt. Also, I never cheated on her. She slept with another man without protection and put your health at risk. That's something no one can ever forgive. I'm glad you came out of it unharmed in the end. And that's it for today. Dear viewers, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out. See you next time. Bye-bye.